Hi guys, there's a short tutorial video, basically how you can string your berimbau, how you can adjust the sound to make it the best sound that you can get out of it, and how to unstring your berimbau. Super important skill, very important. Do not leave your berimbau strung up. You just destroy its life expectancy, and you'll pretty soon have to buy another Berimbau, and you know, it's kind of a shame. Yeah. So especially useful because I know a lot of people are in like a lockdown or quarantine situation, or can't just get together and train with their teacher for whatever reason. And music is a way we can boost our well-being. We can practice it indoors, okay? And always important to practice the music for yourself. It's not a substitute for going to class and playing with your friends, connecting in the circle, in the bateria, but it's like a complement, yeah? You practice your music, it'll just sound better. You practice looking after your berimbau, it will sound better. But it's not a substitute. You've got to connect with the other musicians. We don't play capoeira alone. We don't play capoeira music alone, but we can practice. Okay, before we get started, I'm just going to very quickly show you why it's important to unstring your berimbau at the end. Okay, this is one I've had for about 5 years. Okay, I've lined it up with my floorboards, so you can see there is like a kind of arching of the berimbau, but it's not too pronounced. The capoeira guys in Brazil, Bahia, they say when a berimbau's got too much of a belly, so the arch is too big, then it just loses its tension. It's not just a saying, it's something that I've observed to be true, and we don't want that. Okay, so I'm just gonna pause that. Great. So we've seen why it's important to unstring your berimbau at the end, so that you don't get this sort of belly which loses the tension in the instrument, and will ultimately mean it won't last long. You won't be able to play it for a long time. So we get our berimbau, and now we're going to learn how to string it. We get our berimbau. I'm right-handed, so I'm holding the berimbau in my left hand. Yeah, I've got the string and the wire in my right hand. I put the thumb up against where the string and the wire meet. Yeah. Berimbau between the legs. Take my knee over the end. I lean back. So I'm not really making any effort. Yeah, you see, people can struggle a lot. The trick is technique. You don't want to make too much effort. Yeah. So I lean back. Feel the tension. You get a feel for this over time. If you're starting out, just trial and error, yeah? And then I start to wrap the string around. So I'm holding, the berimbau's held tight with this left arm leaning back. Now I'm transferring. Now it's held tight with the other hand. Now I'm transferring. I'm bringing the left arm on. And now it's held tight as I wrap the string round. And I wrap it round, make a little loop. Pull the string through, tighten it, and I make two just for good luck. But different people do it different ways. And then I've strung up the berimbau. It's got some tension, and now it's got the belly. Yeah, now you can see it's got the belly. That's fine when you're playing it, but you don't want to leave it strung up. Otherwise you have to tighten it progressively more and more to get any sound out. We've got the sound out. We put the cabaça on. So the way we do this, we pull in with the string, with the wire, and bring the cabaça down. My teacher, Mestre Marcelo Angola, always said avoid going beyond a palm's width. Okay, where from the bottom of the berimbau to where the string is. So you get it to the point where you think it's going to sound okay. Give it a little test. Ultimate test, yeah, is the sound. And then we're going to try, I always like to see, do the two sounds, the don, the low sound, and the ding sound good together. Okay, don, ding. I don't actually like that sound myself, so I'm going to loosen a little bit at the top, just a touch. That releases a bit of tension, yeah? And that'll bring it a little bit lower. I'm going to play around a little bit with the height. I'll try again. Okay, if I lowered it down a little bit. Okay, I'm a bit happier now, yeah? But, you know, play around. The areas you can adjust is the height. So bringing it lower, we'll bring a lower sound. Bringing it higher, we'll tend to bring a higher sound. The width between the cabasa and the string, yeah, shouldn't be more than 3 fingers width as a guide. If it is, you can tighten that. That'll bring, again, the sounds higher. And like we did earlier, you can loosen this a little bit. Loosen the tension here, or bring the sound lower, and adjust the sound like that. So play around. Becoming kind of familiar with your Berimbau is such a beautiful thing to do. Okay, the more familiar with it, the nicer the music will sound. Yeah, when you're finished, we're going to just show you how to unstring the Berimbau. So, let's take the cabasa off. We bring the wire in. We take the cabasa off. That way we protect the string here, so we're not pulling it against a really strong wire. And the same way when we're adjusting the cabasa up and down, bring the wire in with this hand, move the cabasa and protect the string. When we've done that, we've only got one more thing to do, which is, just before we do it, but it is to unstring it. But before we unstring it, I'm just going to demonstrate that the belly is huge now on the Berimbau, now that it's strung up. Okay. So before, from the base of the Berimbau to the top was coming to about here. Now it's all the way over there, so two floorboards away. So that's why it's super important not to leave it like this, because the tension will just get stuck in the instrument. Okay. So finally, just to take that tension out, what we're going to do here, we just release the string. So we just move in the opposite direction until there's no tension in the wire. We make a sound, no sound comes out, and job done. Yeah. Thanks so much for watching. I hope it's useful to you. Just have a go and practice, and it'll bring you a wealth of it's a good way if you're stuck in, like I say, away from your teacher or unable to practice otherwise. It's a great way to spend that time. A little bit every day does the trick. We're going to try and get some more videos onto this YouTube channel, Soul Movement channel. I'm going to try and put some Zen Yoga stuff up. I'm going to try and put some Capoeira movement stuff up. I've put already some music videos, which is just me messing around with an app where you can practice on your own. And I put the lyrics in the bottom, in the description of the video, so you can see what they are if you find that stuff useful. If you want to be notified when we get extra videos up there, subscribe, which is either in this corner or this corner. There should be a little button. Just click on it and you can subscribe. And best of luck, stay safe, and I hope when we come out of this COVID thing, we've got really a beautiful capoeira community and beautiful music to come back to. Stay safe.